Hi again then guys, and so we've got another PP specific circuit setup for you today, and this time it's for a much lower PP than I would usually do tunes like this for. I try to keep them to be competitive cars, interesting cars, cars that you want to see, not just piddly little 300 PP cars that nobody really cares about. That said, I reviewed this car last night in my Hot Hatch review series, B-Road Ballers, and it is of course the 2011 Mini Cooper, and I told you guys just how crazy fast this car is, and I concluded that I can't really not give you guys this tune. It's just too good a car not to share with you. So I would recommend using racing soft tyres, but obviously that's down to personal preference. I would also recommend enacting another one of my personal preferences of increasing the rear brake balance to 6, particularly on this vehicle, because being front wheel drive there's more weight over the front end, and also it prevents it from lunging as much under braking. For the suspension you want the ride height as low as possible. For the springs you want 550 on the front, 5 on the back. Dampers to 4, anti-roll to 6 with neutral camber and tow. For the gearbox, an auto setting of 180 with individual gears of 3.3, 2.2, 1625, 1250, 1000 and 850, and a final drive of 3.3. For the diff you want the lowest initial torque, obviously being front wheel drive to reduce the wheel spin coming out of corners, acceleration and braking on 30. As far as the power upgrades, I do have an oil change on this one, and as you can see just fit all the upgrades, but you do want the low RPM turbo to get it in the PP level. I've fitted NOS as you can see, and I would recommend having it, but that's down to personal preference, and obviously you want the full weight loss package. So that's it for the tune setup. Now let's take it out to the Nuremberg ring to see what it can do. Now I mentioned last night in the review for this car that it is insanely quick for a hot hatch, and especially for a 500 pp hot hatch around the Nuremberg ring. Now I'm not necessarily saying this is the quickest 500 pp vehicle. I'm sure there are vehicles that can beat it, such as the Mazda RX 500. But this tune is for people who don't like to follow the crowd and go for the obvious choice. People like me. And if you're anything like me, I would sometimes rather use a car that isn't necessarily the quickest, just to prove your own skill and just to be different from everyone else. And this car is perfect for that. It's 500 pp, which is very competitive, and this car with this tune on my first attempt, in fact the video that you're watching here, got around the Nuremberg ring at the 500 pp level in 6 minutes and 47 seconds. So like I said, there are doubtless vehicles which can go around quicker than that, especially with better drivers than I am, but the proof is that this is a seriously rapid car, and a car which people do not expect to be anywhere near as fast or as competitive as it actually is. So as I said, if you haven't bought this car, it's only 30 grand, so it's not a lot of money to spend out for a vehicle which could potentially come in very handy for you. And the fact that it's front wheel drive means you will never spin out with this car. It's perfect for the Nuremberg ring, for Sierra, for pretty much any twisty track that doesn't require top speed. So if you decide to use this tune, obviously I hope you find it fun, and it's definitely competitive. And if you'd like to see tunes like this as soon as they come out, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.